Hi, my name is Daryl Fratagas. I'm from Parsippany, New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey all my life, and I had the unique experience of being trained by the New Jersey 2001 Inventor of the Year, Dr. Phil Anderson. And while I was in college, I did a research paper on Thomas Edison, where I actually read Thomas Edison's diary. And I was so inspired. In the peak of Thomas Edison's career, he filed 106 patent applications in 1882, and I was driven to try to beat that record one day in the future to serve the public good. So I filed over 400 provisional patent applications back in 2004 and hundreds more since, with patents soon to be granted. I filed provisionals because it's cost saving, it keeps it secret. It was more of a hobby in the past, but thanks to Emmanuel Coffee, I'm taking my hobby to the next level. When I met Emmanuel Coffee, I had a breach of a contract and a misappropriation of my intellectual property by a company that was sued by the Attorney General for scamming thousands of people with 60 lawsuits against them. But some people just didn't believe me. They're like, oh, we're not sure if this is true or not, or they asked me for $10,000 retainer up front. Some asked me for $50,000 a month because it was going up to against a big company. But Emmanuel took the time to really listen to me. He took the time to not think about the money, but think about the law, and if I really had a case or not. And he determined, as an intellectual property expert who worked at the US Patent Office as a patent examiner and for NASA as an engineer, his expertise concluded that I really had a case. And thanks to him, he worked with other lawyers and said, look, Daryl is the real deal here. Not only did he win awards as an inventor, he's been on hit TV shows, he won awards in college, graduate school, and even from the History Channel. He's got credibility, he's got the records at the patent office, he's got email documentation, and he added credibility to everything that I stated because he took the time to examine my records in detail. We met with a professor who was hired as an expert for my case, who examined my records, and he did a sloppy job. Emmanuel took the time to do the proper due diligence and use his expertise by working as a patent examiner to conclude that I had a case. And thanks to him, I won 6 figures, but it could have been 8 or 10 figures if I met Emmanuel early on in my case. I met him later on. Well, Mr. Coffee's expertise is, you can't compare, because most attorneys don't have the experience working at the United States Patent and Trademark Office as a U.S. patent examiner. So about less than 5% of patent attorneys have that experience. And his unique insights, working at the patent office, plus working for NASA and as an engineer, plus he's a patented inventor himself, he had more experience than any attorney I met. Well, one of the things I liked most about Mr. Coffee is it wasn't about fees. A lot of attorneys I met with, they talked about $5,000 up front, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Emmanuel took time to get to know me personally, on a personal level, on a professional level, and before he stated any costs, he was reasonable with his prices, and he was fair. If I needed, an extra 30 days to make a payment or an extra 90 days, he didn't make a big deal out of it like some other attorneys did. He was reasonable, reliable, fast, and proficient. And not only that, I learned a great deal from him. He's the author of the book, The Value of Your Ideas. And because of Emmanuel's strategic advice, he helped my business become recognized as one of the most innovative in New Jersey by the Tech Council, and one of the most innovative in the world by the publishers of the book, innovationsoftheworld.com. And another thing that I liked about him is a lot of attorneys just wanted me to sue. But inventors don't want to sue, they want to work out deals, win-win deals, licensing deals, strategic partnerships, or raise funds, and that's what Emmanuel Coffee emphasized. Like in my 500 patent applications, I filed a similar patent application to what later became Square, Clubhouse, Facebook, YouTube, won an award from the History Channel inventing a mobile coupon app, filed a provisional patent application on a similar TV show to what later became Shark Tank. And some people don't believe me when I make these statements, but Emmanuel verified them. Many of us have similar ideas, but it doesn't matter so much about the ideas. It's about getting in the right doors, working with the right people, and focusing full time on them. And Emmanuel encouraged me to focus on my inventions more so rather than making it as a hobby. And as a result of him, my business produced over 100x ROI. I've been featured in books, on TV shows, and my career in business is growing more so thanks to him. I had a great outcome. I received a settlement from a large corporation. A lot of times they don't want to settle. And my business has grown since. He effectively helped counsel and the judge recognize that I was the inventor. I had intellectual property. I had the proper filings. He added credibility to my case because I was working with a regular law firm that was more of a general practice because they took my case on a contingency. Some intellectual property cases can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions. But Emmanuel came in as a third-party expert to talk to the judge, to talk to my counsel, and said, look, his records are solid. Everything this gentleman's stating is true. He's got the emails, he's got the provisionals, patent applications, he's got invention lab book records. He's the real deal. And because of him, I won what I definitely deserved. I only wish I met Emmanuel earlier because the outcome would have been greater. But you don't want to spend your whole life fighting. And I wanted to resolve things quickly. Well, the main reason why I recommend Mr. Coffee, as stated before, is how many people do you meet in life who worked for NASA and are a patent attorney, plus a patent examiner at the United States Patent and Trademark Office? His credibility, his degrees, his experience in his office, he has so many degrees and countless awards. He's an expert in his field. He's an intellectual property expert, and I felt he had more experience than 90% of the attorneys in the country. And he's local in New Jersey. He's affordable. He's fast. He always gets back to my phone calls. I don't have to deal with secretaries or chatbots. He takes time to actually pick up the phone and talk to me, and I don't feel like a client. I feel more like a friend or a partner, and he always gets things done on time. And he's quick, reliable. He's become a great friend and mentor. Look, there's a lot of law firms out there, and everyone's from patent agents that promise they're going to do something at a low cost to big law firms that promise the world. But if you want professional service for a fair price and having the expertise Emmanuel has, he can help you receive a patent when many attorneys can't, due to his experience as a United States Patent and Trademark Office patent examiner. Most attorneys don't have that experience. So even though Emmanuel's prices are fair, a lot of attorneys with his background would often charge 2 to 3 times more. I've met with some firms that wanted $20,000 to $50,000 for a patent. Emmanuel's fees and structure for payment is far more reasonable for the average person, because inventing can't just be a rich man's sport. It's got to be equal for everyone. And Emmanuel recognizes that there's a lot of startups and not everyone's got $20,000 that they can cough up right away. So he offered payment plans that were affordable, reasonable, and because of him, I've been able to file more patent applications. I've been able to have more success. And he's also an author of a book. He helped me learn more than I thought I knew a lot, but Emmanuel taught me some things I didn't know, and because of that, moving forward, I feel more confident I'm going to succeed as an inventor, entrepreneur, and an executive.